our channel Bubbly Aleks
and Bubbly Lora,
where we talk about relationships.
That is right. Subscribe
For our channel. Now let's go straight to the point. Lora doesn't share ice cream.
She does not share ice cream. We're gonna talk about in the next 30 minutes about that. It happened to be a longer topic than we expected. Before that, just to remind you that this is our pilot
episode of the one bubble concept.
That's right. So it's a special one to us because it's our first baby in that category. So it's super excited. And many more we're wishing each other.
Yes.
Many more to deliver good daily content for you guys. Now, Lora does not share weekly. Typical daily struggles on a weekly basis.
Yes.
Something like that.
In a couple.
In relationships. Lora doesn't share ice cream. Why don't you tell us where that started? Has it always been like that? We're gonna say how that, what happened last week, but has it always been like that?
Yep. It actually really depends on the type of ice cream. I just, when it's on a stick, it's a personal ice cream. You don't share this
Personal
ice cream.
size.
Oh yeah, it is a personal size, and you buy this ice cream for you, not so it can be. This is gonna sound not really good, but licked from a lot of people, or even if this is my partner, like it's something that you want to enjoy. And
what if it's mostly ice creams are not very healthy. What if we just wanna have a bite or two each and just toss it out, or just not to waste a couple of ice creams, or we're not gonna finish them because they're not healthy? Just one of the taste.
well, I don't eat the ice creams every day. Like if I eat it once in a month or in a week even, I wanna enjoy it. I just love to, in the end, the stick. It's just nice.
And you see how that actually started. It's just like how Lora described it.
And
she doesn't share ice cream, where I think that because it's junk food often, a lot of the ice cream, not all, the real gelato in Italy is a different story, but the typical ice cream that we buy in the stores are not very healthy typically. So now maybe we describe a little bit the situation of how that happened, such a topic.
And why don't you tell why you want to share the ice cream?
Okay, I start first. I want to share the ice cream because I see ice cream as a treat.
Okay.
I don't have it often, but when I do want to have it, I have that craving, like many of us have cravings for certain things, and I just want a bite or two. And so, especially when I'm in a relationship, and in this case my wife, it makes more sense for me to buy one ice cream, I have a bite or two and satisfy my craving, and then she eats the other half and she satisfies her craving. So in my mind that makes perfect sense. And of course my math numbers brain thinks, why buy two ice creams when you can have one? I want just a little bit and you can have maybe a little bit more and we're good. And that's my belief system.
Okay.
So that's where I come from. Why not share an ice cream when we have a craving?
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Tell me please, what's the difference between buying yourself, for example, a burger or a pizza or a something, which is better? To make the whole new slice and eat it, or to have the bite and half, the half like already eaten thing, piece of pizza, for example. Which would you, if you had the two, which would you prefer? The one that is half or the one that it's...
But the slice of pizza is already a part of the pizza, right? So
Yeah,
it's like
but
a part of a part of a part.
Yeah, but it is sliced and it looks nice when you see it. And the one is chewed and eaten by somebody else. And you have to choose the one that is like, I don't know.
Cut?
And no,
chewed?
the
Beaten?
one is cut and the other is chewed. Which one would you prefer?
The one is bitten. Somebody had the bite of it. right?
Yeah.
Well, it's, I don't know, it's not an exact question. Like, if you just want to have a bite of pizza, I still want to share. If not, I want to have my own piece of pizza. Right?
Okay, let's
I don't
go.
know. But let's talk about ice cream because that is the topic, right?
Yeah.
Ice cream is the topic. Let's describe the situation. What happened? How it happened?
Okay, you can start.
Okay, so we were walking downtown Vancouver last week, and it was Lora, me, and my boy Aleks, and I had the craving of having ice cream. I asked my son if he wants to have some, and he said yes. And I said, Lora, would you like to share an ice cream with me?
Not with you and Aleks.
Was
the
it?
three of us.
Okay,
in one
to
ice
share
cream.
one ice cream, and because as I explained earlier, I feel like if I have 1 or 2 bites, I'm happy. But this is how I see it, right? It's not a healthy food, but it's a good for the soul food. And so I offered, and Lora made that face of, I want to have my ice cream on my own. I want to have a whole ice cream. And so my ego, and here's where we really start going into that topic. My ego, in my mind, starts saying things such as, okay, why is she always like that? Why does she can't just say, yes, let's share an ice cream? Why can't she be excited about it? And my ego started to create stories about Laura's answer of not wanting to share an ice cream. And you can kind of sense the tension, right? Like the energy changes, and she's going more in her bubble, in her ego, and I go more in my bubble. So I create stories in my mind, she creates stories in her mind.
Yeah, well, now let me explain the situation from my bubble, from my point of view.
Please.
Well, we were walking around just in the afternoon, and Aleks offered us to share an ice cream. But having in mind that we are not together since yesterday, I know that when he says let's share an ice cream, this means we buy an ice cream for both of us. We eat I don't know what it's called, a bite or two each. A scoop.
Right? Or like a spoon, sorry.
Anyway, I got it.
Yes.
You eat a bite or two, like each of us eats a bite or two from the ice cream, and then what is left we throw it away, because you always need to leave a bit from this treat that you have. So I don't really honestly remember what was the reason, but you need to have something that is left and you throw it away. And for me, if this is a treat, I want my treat. Like I treat myself not every day, and I don't have the craving for something every day. If I'm gonna eat an ice cream, I want to have an ice cream and to enjoy with all my senses the whole of it. If I don't eat the whole of it, well, you can join, or something like this, or you can try it, but not eat the half of the ice cream and give it to me, and I don't eat the rest of it. I just like to enjoy my treats, and I feel good when I have it all. I'm sorry, it may sound egoistic or something like this, but I prefer either to have it or not to have it at all. I'm not going to struggle. If I don't have an ice cream at all, it's okay.
Well, no need to sorry, because that's what we're here for, to really get down to the bottom of it and to find out or to illustrate that there is no problem with that, right? It created a problem because I was in my bubble and Lora was in her bubble, and not understanding each other, being in a separate, not understanding. I'm pulling left, she's pulling right, I'm right, she's wrong, on her side is the other opposite, I'm wrong, she's right. And that's how the egos typically see situations like that.
And also, for me, it was that we were going to share it, not the two of us, but we were 3 people. Can you imagine 3 people and 1 ice cream? Come on, this is not serious. In my head, it doesn't look serious. And also, when I told Aleks, okay, I prefer not to have an ice cream if we have to share it. So you take ice cream, share it with your son. I just don't want to have it. I'm not gonna be mad, or I'm not going to be making other situations about it, just all right.
Well, she was a little bit frustrated. It's
Yeah.
normal. It's normal, right? It's
Yeah.
normal because I didn't agree with her point of view. And so here is we're gonna describe what typically happens when it's by the egos. When we follow our egos, what's the result? So I'm gonna go first. So what happened is, not being in my bubble, I said to myself, okay, well, I'm gonna buy ice cream, I'm gonna share it with my son. If she doesn't want to share with us, that's fine.
And I was going to be perfectly okay, actually.
And that's what, and that's right. But the energy, was it good?
No.
You were perfectly okay, but we're not perfectly okay, right? At the moment. Right?
Yeah, because you said that if I'm not sharing ice cream with you too, you're not buying an ice cream at all for no one, which was
Is
the
that
thing.
what I said? So
Yeah.
here's what happens when the ego leads, right? When the ego leads, this is what happens: an argument,
Yeah.
right? So I bought the ice cream, and all that time, my brain, the ego inside is mumbling, how Lora can be this way and that way, and it creates stories that are not true. And her mind could be saying other things or not, but it's not positive, right?
Yeah, my mind was going all the way like, why is he making me share something that I don't want to share? Or if I want an ice cream, I'm gonna have an ice cream, and I'm not going to share it. I just want an ice cream. If you're going to share that, we'll buy a big one. So, and there is going to be ice cream for everybody as much as everybody wants. And I was like, and why should I share it with him? Like, this is an ice cream. This is not a cake or something like this. And when he went to the shop, like still going from our egos, he went to the shop. We all together entered, and they didn't find a single ice cream, so they bought a box of 6 ice creams, took one, didn't eat the whole of the ice cream, and left the box on the street so someone can have it. And we were still going, every one of us in his own bubble, like kind of mad to each other. And if we didn't actually got into the present and understood that, well, he wants to share, like, it's not a big deal, I can have a bite just to satisfy his thing, I don't know.
Talking about the one bubble. But before we get to the one bubble, let's
Okay.
just describe, because that's what we did next. But so from Laura's perspective, that's what happened. From my perspective, the ice cream didn't taste good. Because in your mind you're mad, the energy's not good. Yeah, I ate half or 2 bites of the ice cream, and my son had a few, and I threw it away, but the experience wasn't good. All the while my brain or my ego is telling me I'm winning, right? I'm gonna get my, and so this is how the ego resolves. It's not in quotations, because it doesn't resolve anything. I don't feel good, the ice cream doesn't taste good, I didn't throw it away, but probably somebody took it and enjoyed it on the street, which is fine. But the ego makes you think that I'm winning, and the ego might be thinking the same way in different ways. But the result is I don't feel good,
And I don't feel good either.
and my wife doesn't feel good. So even though the ego is trying to make us feel that we win, I win in my bubble, and Lora wins in her bubble, the result is we both lose.
Yeah, and we are both sad, and we kind of screw the rest of the day.
Yeah, the afternoon for sure.
Yeah.
So what could be? Is there another way to go into a situation? Because those things arise.
There's always another way. You can always choose to find something positive. You can always find the positive side of everything. Like, we learned something, and in this particular situation, and the rest that we are going to talk about in this rubric, is the one bubble concept. And what is the one bubble concept?
The one bubble concept is a concept that Lora and I came up with, and it basically talks about the relationship between people, in this case us, a married couple, without their egos. So it puts us in one bubble. You see how we described before, the ego sees me in my own bubble, and Laura's ego in her own bubble. And so we kind of come together in a relationship, but there is her ego and my ego into a relationship. Well, Lora and I believe that in a relationship, as a unit, as an entity, There should be only one bubble.
Yeah, there is no I in us.
That's a beautiful way to put it. There's no I in us. And when you do see yourselves that way, as a one unit, any problem like that that arises, you can see it as it is and resolve it without your egos.
Well, okay, now we can say how would the situation be different, and instead of losing the rest of that nice afternoon being mad at each other and everybody in his head about why he wants me to share something that I want, why he wants me to do something that I don't want to, and why is she so grumpy and she doesn't want to share all the time, and I had the ice cream though and I'm still not happy, why? So
it's a great way. What Lora is saying could continue if not just for an afternoon. Sometimes people go for days doing this in their own minds. They don't talk to each other. He goes to work, she goes to work, sleep on one side of the bed or a different room, and it continues drilling in, right? It doesn't get better.
No.
And the sad part is again that it's the ego convincing you that you're winning, but you're not winning because you feel not good.
You don't feel good, and sometimes when you're in a relationship where like you're not like us together 24/7 almost, and when you have time to spend with yourself where you continue convincing yourself that you're right and he's wrong or she's wrong, it's sad, and you don't enjoy life this way. So
certainly you don't enjoy a relationship.
In order to not get into this thing, you always can, when you catch yourself, sometimes it takes more time. It may take an hour, it may take a day, it may take a week, but it's never late. Like the moment you catch yourself that you are saying that I'm right, he's wrong, or something like this, you can think, okay, here it is. There is no right or wrong. There is us and there is a relationship. So
it's beautiful.
So what?
No, it's what Lora is saying is you're catching yourself that you're in your own bubble and you're pushing further away from us.
And what you can do when it happens is what we did, and what shall someone else that is watching do?
As Lora said, the first thing is to remind yourself, wait, I'm in my own bubble and I'm going away from our bubble, and that's why it hurts, right? Now, the thing to do as quickly as possible is to remind yourself that I want to come back to the present moment where there is us, and to see that because Lora likes to have a whole ice cream for herself, and I like to have a couple bites of an ice cream or not finish an ice cream, neither one of us is wrong. This is what I have as a belief system. I have a bite of junk food, or in this case ice cream, and she wants to have her own ice cream. Both of us are right, and the most important thing to realize is that to resolve any of these situations is we have to remove the egos. It's not a personal problem. Lora wants to have her own ice cream not because against me, and I want to just have a couple of bites not because against Lora to prove her wrong. No, our egos want us to believe that way and put her in that corner and me in that corner and do this, right? And it's addictive. And as Lora said, it's not always easy, right? Sometimes you catch yourself. But as we do it, it happens. With practice, it happens. To remind myself, wait a minute, Lora wants to have her whole ice cream and I want to have half ice cream. Both of us are right. So I get an ice cream, have half, and if I want to throw it away, then I'm fine. And get an ice cream, she can get an ice cream and eat the whole ice cream. She's an adult, I'm an adult, and there's no problem. The important thing is to remember here is that there's no problem that she likes an ice cream and I have just decided to have a couple of bites, right?
And it's important too to understand that this is not about making a compromise. We are not making compromises, because if you come from this thinking like, well, okay, I'm gonna share with it and I'm gonna do this because I know I'm right, but it just okay, let him be happy.
I'm gonna be nice this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be nice this time. Don't do it with this thinking, because if you think this, this is not the one bubble concept. This is not the compromise. If you want something, if you want to make your partner feel good and enjoy, like, do it because you want to do it, because you have this thinking from the one bubble, from the
Genuine.
us, in genuine. Yeah, don't think, if you think about it as a compromise, well, then it's
still your ego with a
It's-
mask, with a
it's
nice
still-
mask on.
yeah, as if it's an acting, and it will come again the next time. For example, if I wish for ice cream, it's going to be the situation will pop up again, and
Worse.
it's gonna be again.
Yeah.
Like, it will start all over, and you go nowhere.
What a good point Laura makes, because the ego does not forget.
No.
Like it kind of puts it under the carpet, right? And then, as Laura said, oh, I'm gonna be nice this time, and it feels like you owe me,
Yeah.
right? For next time, or you're gonna make a compromise for me.
Yeah, you're gonna buy me a whole ice cream, and you're not going to eat from it.
Yeah, or on a different topic, right? That you're gonna make a compromise. So Laura is right. There's no compromise in this now. It must not be a solution. It is not a solution, right?
It's not a must. It's not a solution. So, yeah.
It's not a solution to do that way. The only way to understand this, to repeat and kind of strengthen it again, is we are together in one bubble. So if Laura wants a full ice cream, I have to see it as she's my bubble. We're in one bubble. She brings that desire, I bring my desire. They're both valid. It's not neither one better than the other. I respect her decision,
And I respect his too.
and it's perfect. But it needs to be pure. And as we said, it's not always easy. It needs work, right?
Yeah. Also, it's important to understand and think about the compromises, because you are going to make compromise this time for, if it's us, for the ice cream. Next time is going to be because he's leaving his socks on the ground, or she doesn't wash her dishes, or something like this. And if you think about these things as compromises, the next time you are in your bubble, for example, you're coming back from work and you see something that makes you mad, and you will start an argument, and then from the ice cream it will come to the next topic and to the next topic, and it's going to, it just grows, and after that there is like, what is next? Like, this is why a lot of relationships fall apart, and it's not nice.
It's a very important topic that Laura brings. The ego is always on the watch, because in order to live, and it's not philosophy. You've seen those things in your life or relationship. It's always on the watch to create an argument. Why is the argument? I feel like that's what it does, right?
Yeah.
It says like, okay, what can I? Okay, as Laura said, or the plates, or the dishes, or how she's dressed, or I'm dressed, or oh, she didn't cook, or it always finds things to nag on and attack, right? Especially if you make compromise, like Laura said. I'm gonna make a compromise this time, and I'm gonna say, oh, I made a compromise last time, she owes me for this, and you cannot build a healthy relationship on that. Like, it will explode, like Laura said, like a balloon.
Yeah.
And then at some point you're either gonna be ending the relationship because she's the reason for my problems, or I'm the reason for her problems, but the next relationship is the same thing.
Yeah, and you move your past.
You carry it with you.
You carry it with you, and if you don't grow from this, you're not getting better.
No.
You're not blossoming, as this is a new word that I really enjoy.
She loves it.
Yeah, and you just keep staying stuck
You're stuck.
in a bad mood.
Yes.
So the result, how
talk
did
about
we
that, yes.
grow? What we learned?
How did we grow out of it? What was the result?
What did you learn about?
This situation with the
Yeah.
ice cream? Well, I learned that she doesn't share ice cream. What I learned is that Laura has full right to have her own ice cream, and I have a full right to want to have a couple bites of ice cream, and we're both okay, and it's not a reason to have an argument or disagree or worse yet, make it a big deal and then ruin our afternoon or day or weekend or week, you know. It stays full well with me now that it will never be a problem anymore if Lora wants to share, not only and doesn't share ice cream, could be with chocolate, could be with anything. It could be even at the moment, you know, it doesn't have to be always the case. As I said, sometimes maybe she wants to give you a couple of spoons. Maybe.
Yeah, and you're going to enjoy these spoons,
yes, I'm going to. But it's not, what I learned for myself is that my ego is wrong to convince me that I'm right and she's wrong, and to then give me reasons why that's the case, and to feel, you know, mad and attack and everything. And I don't want to listen to my ego because it doesn't make me feel good. But what makes me feel good is to feel and think as one, and to take her opinion as just as valid and important as mine. Because she's an adult and I'm an adult, her opinion counts as much as mine does.
Yeah.
And that's the, I mean, I can, what I learned from this ice cream situation, I can put in everything else. But it was a simple, what seemed to be a simple problem, it ruined our weekend or afternoon anyways.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what my ego tells me now, to reasons why you should share ice cream, I don't want to listen to it, because the result is I suffer if I listen to my ego, and I'm happy if I listen to my heart and be in the one bubble where her and I are one unit.
Now you can ask me too.
Yes, what did you learn? Sorry, I kind of got it. What did you learn, and how are you better off now applying the one bubble concept to this situation?
Well, first I learned that I'm really lucky woman having this really grown-up man.
Thank you. You're both lucky.
And also what I learned is that when you are in a relationship, you really need to think like us and not like I, because when you go from the I, you don't feel good and you really ruin I am ruining my own afternoon, like thinking about how he wants me to make something that I don't want to do, and why doesn't he understand me. I just need to think about us and understand that this is who he is, he wants to share, and it's not something bad to share sometimes. And I'm perfectly good with this, and that love will always win. And when I want to be in a healthy relationship, so I need to grow, and I grow through these situations and catching when the voice inside my head starts making him wrong in my head, because this is all in my head.
Wow, you put it so good, right? The voice, and so what Lora said, just to repeat it because it really hit me. The voice in my head makes the other person seem wrong in my head, right?
Yeah.
And it's a voice in your head, what Lora said is so powerful, because it cannot be true. It's a voice in your head. The other person is just as good as you are.
Yeah, and the one bubble concept is about relationship between people which are outside their ego.
Yeah, without the egos.
Without their egos.
Out of their ego bubbles into their love bubble.
Into their love bubble. And because I is always alone, and there is no I in us. And I love it.
Egoless bubble. One egoless bubble, not two ego full bubble.
Yes, and I think that we are ready to finish.
Yes. Yeah, well, it was good.
Did you like it? We really hope that you did, actually. So you can
subscribe
for our channel so you don't miss the next episode and see what is going to be the next
topic.
Yes,
struggle,
seed of argument, fight.
What the ego will bring to us next. Where is it gonna catch us? And catching Lora off, not off, but cutting her because she's so excited. Just to remind you, if there's a couple that you think should watch us or enjoy us or have topics, put them in the comments.
Yes, we will be really happy to talk about them, because you know what is the most important thing?
What is?
Don't struggle, bubble!
That was good.
Great job, my love.
It was good. I liked it. Tell me the video is on.